Right, okay, so these videos are now being played out of order, so what I realised we needed was a proper explanation as to how the virtual golf works. You might well see here that we've had full repairs in the boutique since last time with our ball that went through the net, so that's all back up and running. But the video that you're about to see is one of hopefully maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 that I've put together because my usual September trip to Portugal has bitten the dust thanks to coronavirus. My other 3 mates, however, are all still going because they're in the UK. Portugal's off the watch list and they don't have to self-isolate for 2 weeks. Cheers, lads. So I've done this just for them. I'm not sure they're deserving of it, but I've done this just for them anyway. And effectively I've used our 2018 cards, which we've got a record of, and then in with that I've intertwined the virtual par 3s that are played like this. So the virtual par 3s, Poppy at the start does a little draw with all of our names on it, and that dictates the order that the balls that I then hit off the mat are assigned to each player. So ball number 1 in this instance will go to Ian, then to Ben, then to me, and then to Jay. The other part of this is that it is a truism that when you catch these balls really well, and you like me have a tendency of when you do hit a ball well, it goes from right to left. When that happens, it will come out of the net in a certain way that will roll it up to the mat. And effectively, a really well hit shot will end up on this section of the mat. An average shot will end up there, an alrighty sort of shot will end on this bit here, and a rubbish shot will just be off of it altogether. So here's how we're playing it. When I hit a ball well, let's see if I can get that one to do it, which I can't, and it comes back out of the net and rolls up back onto the mat. If it lands on this bit here, it is a birdie. If it hits the pin flush, it's a hole in 1. If it ends up on the middle section, it's a par. If it ends up on here, it is a 4. Anything else is a 5. You then score your Stableford points as you would normally do. Add those scores into the 2018 card, see if it makes any difference, and then I at least get some sort of a feeling that I've had a Portugal experience whilst that lot are off sat down at Antonio's drinking sangria and Sagres. No, I can't talk about it anymore. Can't talk about it anymore. So that's how it's all played. Quinta Laranjal, it is one of our favourite golf courses. So what we've got going on the bottom then, so that's the 2018 scores are in white, and they're also what we're going to take on board for virtual Porty as well. So the actual scores in 2018 are also the scores for 4s and 5s that we get for virtual Porty 2020, right? Now, it only gets interesting, or it's interesting all the time, but we can start affecting it when we get to the virtual par 3s. Along the lines, with the rules that I've just said there as to how we actually do some scoring. So here is the first of our virtual par 3s. Crappy little par 3. It's probably my least favourite on the Algarve. Green to the right, and thing on the left, and it's a bit shit. So anyway, it's a bit of a nothing one to start, but you will see how we do our scoring. And then the scores that I get on this, depending on where your ball ends up on the mat, is what we then replace your actual scores with that you got on the day, and see if it makes any difference. So virtual scores in white, 2018 scores in red, and this is our first little draw. Enjoy. Right. It's not a bad start, that. Yeah, he can nudge himself into a solid par.
Dad!
So that one's gone clean through the net and hit the fence.
Oh my god!
So, look, it was a little bit of a heart stopper. Thankfully, it didn't start ricocheting around. I think if it had done, it would have been a little bit more near death. Poppy went into this whole sort of street routine. I'm not sure what that was about. Anyway, and then we played around afterwards and put some padding and boxes and all sorts through. So if it hit the same hole, then it wouldn't hit the fence again. But it probably did affect my confidence with a club in my hand. But c'est la vie. So these two were just dollied up, as you can see, and same sort of result. You don't have to really have a full shot on it. It doesn't really make an awful lot of difference. But that was that, and we are still holding firm with the 2018 card. So I think these first opening holes are just a little bit vanilla. There's not much about them. There's not a lot around. You don't really see too many orange groves, to be honest with you. It's only really on the flyover that you see really where all the orange groves are, coming up on the left-hand side if you look. So I think it's why it did take a bit of a while for it to grow on us. But as soon as you come up this hill and start mucking around in the back, I think it gets a lot prettier, and I think I think the holes get nicer and a little bit more challenging as well. So anyway, so we're as we were. Myself and Jay are 2 up. And I think a bit of a Spaniard there on the part. Mr. Gethin has pulled one back for you guys, and you're now just 1 down. But as I say, first of the nice holes, and usually you hopefully bump into a buggy bar up here and maybe sit on the top and look out, have yourself a Sagres, and all the rest of it, and off we trot. So long par 5 this. You need to get a couple of good hits, and you need to be fairly accurate. All of us struggled there, but again, you guys 2 on the bounce and have squared it. But this is now the monster 3 up on the top. It's a 3-iron minimum, and if you've got some wind in, then maybe even that's not enough. Land it on the green, and you usually should win. All get a shot, because you see there it's SI2, and it's our next interactive hole. So let's see if this one makes any difference for us. Right, so 7.
Have done the cookie thing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so 3 in my hand is what I've got. Oh dear, no, off the green. It's a hard shot to get these 3s onto the mat. It's a hard shot. So first 5 could be a bunch of 5s here, boys.
Sounds like you're hitting it pretty hard.
Yeah, could be in trouble here, lads. And this is this round as well, actually, unlike Quinta South, could be affected by this interactive par 3 section. Oh, it's fat, but he's going to get it on. So obviously, having the cards for this, we knew what the game score for this was in 2018, and Ben and Ian won it 2-1. The Quinta South game, which I've also done, was I think a 5-4 in Ben and my favour. So this was a much closer game. So these virtual holes have more of a chance of making a difference to the overall score. But frustratingly at the minute, we are still holding with what we did. Yeah, so little 4 up the hill with loads of sand down on the right, and yeah, it's one of those. Do you drive it, or do you just try and take two safe shots and a par? But it's quite narrow green, so you've got to be quite accurate with your second shot in. And then this is the lovely little well, it's not little at all. It's par 5 with the sort of 90 degrees over the water. And it's the start of a very nervy few holes, because it's muchos agua for the next few. This is the one that usually sucks. I play the Titleist Sand Seekers, or the Titleist Nemos, and anyway, I think I've probably walked away with a 5 a couple of times, but it's a lovely hole. And then this, a bit of another thinking man's golf hole. All you really need is a little 6 down here. Yeah, and then a little wedge in. And probably should note there that Ian and Ben take the 9 Virtual Porty 2020, as well as they did in 2018. And having just pulled that now back, match back to all square, as we head on to the first of 3 of our virtual par 3s on the back 9. Again, still waiting. Our breath has never been so bated to see whether or not we are going to be able to change history. So over to Pops for the draw, and we'll see how we go. So this is a lovely little par 3. Lots of shade, lots of trees, and the lake down on the right hand side. It's lovely and fresh. It's an absolute beauty, and I think that's probably the hole that you stand on. You go, yeah, that's why we've decided to like this golf course. It's a nice one. So here we go then, another virtual par 3. Right, okay, so we are on to the 11, which is the one that's got the lake. Fire over a little bit of the lake for this one, and you've got lovely little sort of kind of like crescent trees to aim towards. It's a nice one. We like this one. So anyway, I've got a 6 in my hand. It's 170 yards. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of wind behind today, should we say. So again, reinforcement's still there. I think they're going to get a workout on this one. We shall see. Oh, for God's sakes, Des.
Oh.
It's amateurish.
Denzel.
Just amateurish. Oh, it's just a shit job. Nothing more than that. I'm a little bit worried about this net. Right, okay. So yeah, keep an eye on the whites versus the reds. Obviously, whites is what we're getting scoring on the mat there. 5 unfortunately got caught up in the mat. It's unlucky that. Particularly, and again another unlucky one. So
no, that's off the mat.
5 for 1 unfortunately, but in 3 for 3 on the day, lad. And I do believe that was what won the hole back in 2018.
Gaping wound. Even as far as to say gash. Dear me, no.
Off the mat.
He's lost his mojo. He's lost his mojo. Wonderful opportunity to change the game.
Oh, pretty good.
Parred the last. Okay. Not coming out well, but there we are. There's the 4.
So a virtual swing then, and then in 2018 was followed up with a win from me, which back then squared the match. But here has put us 2 up. So a couple of par 4s up and back, but you've got to contend with the creek here. And I think obviously contend we did, and both Ben and I came off worst. Ian, good 5-2 there, lad. Pulls one back, and now it's 1 down. 1 down on the match, and 1 up in 2018. So the 14th, still got 2 par 3s to go, lads. So it's still all to play for. But the 14th again, nice little spot to sort of have a little look around and see what's going on. The green sort of shoots up there to the right hand side, and if you don't come down those bloody pine trees, you can either go all the way over the right, but then you end up getting hit with golf balls that are coming down the other fairway. So risk and reward, eh? And here we are, our penultimate virtual par 3 of the day. Lovely hole down there, water on the right hand side, which generally tends to mean you sort of favour the right and bail out over there. But here we go, pops with the draw. Let's see if we can make some difference. Alrighty, 15 on Laranjal, 174 yards. This is the one, you've got the lake down on the left hand side. So I did have a 6 in my hand, but then remembered that you definitely do not want to be short on this hole, so I've upped it to a 5. So here we go then. Still absolutely hacking it about this net. Not sure we're going to last. That was just a horrible shot, in fairness. Oh, gone on the double ace days of yesterday. Get up, get up!
What do you have to say about that one?
Oh, it's just
Gutted.
It's not clicking today, Pops, but you know.
That one I thought was about to go through the net. Off the green 5 for the third ball. Apologies. Have we actually landed any on yet?
No.
Oh dear, we might have to rethink this round. We're not affecting anything.
Well, I think we had the one,
What it's gone through. That thing hit the back.
I feel like you just gutted cooking it.
I think that actually went to the hole, hit you listened to the sound and came back out. Yeah, Benji's Golf Boutique might have to close for repairs. Right, one more to go. So a little run of some halved holes then, and we've still got this one shot swing in the wrong direction based on 2018. It's a lovely par 5 this, lots of water about, so again very nervy. And the only problem, it's great to see it on this flyover because you're never really sure where you're going when you're down there, and you've got that creek there which complicates things, so yeah, it's probably a double crossing. Anyway, yeah, it's a bugger, but it's a lovely, lovely hole. Walk off with a par and you're doing well. Here we go then. The last virtual par 3 of the day could end up putting a nail in a coffin on the match virtually, and completely and utterly upsetting the 2018 apple cart. So let's go with Pops and the draw and see how we go.
I hope you can see me. Yes, we can.
Right, okay. Right, okay, so 6 iron, first ball, come on, let's get some, start affecting this thing. Yes, chance. Oh, that's particularly harsh. Almost a birdie, ends up with a 4. Well, that's the sort of stuff we've tuned in for though. And another one. Got a chance. Oh!
That was close.
Close for the ace.
The person
Finishing
whose
strong,
ball that
Pops.
was would be
Rather
blown.
than a debacle in the middle, but they'll remember what they had
that's
last.
it. Sadly, it
Just
didn't
do
make
that,
any difference
shot again.
whatsoever. This sees
got too keen on
Bentley
it.
and take the match in rear
Hope
right.
that's
Where-
funny,
where
I
is
deserve
it?
that.
This
Ugly
is where the steam goes out of the virtual challenge for me and Jay as well. So anyway, so there it is, boys. I hope you have enjoyed it. It was a bit. I must admit, it was fun making it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent so long as I did doing it. So
It's in the
it
section,
was
that's
a
a
good
par
laugh.
for the ball number 4.
So more to come. As I say, more to 5. We are where we are, but never mind. Enjoy the last couple of holes then, as we go down 18. As I say, match all over in real life now, and sadly the nail goes in the virtual coffin here as well. So we shall speak very, very soon. As I say, take care of yourselves. Hope you've enjoyed it. More to follow. Cheers, lads. Ta-ra.